Haryana result jolts Team Rahul. After big upset, Congress in introspection mode. Selja, Surjewala and Hooda not invited for the key meeting. Blame game over poll rout.
पार्टी ने ही एक बागी उम्मीदवार खड़ा करके और पूरे षड्यंत्र के तौर पे चुनाव हराने की कोशिश भी करी और वो उनकी मंशा पूरी भी, उन्होंने चुनाव हराया गया है.
Knives out in Congress camp.
प्रभारी महोदय हैं, वो अगर बीमार थे तो किसी और को अपना जिम्मा दे दिया होता.
Decoding Congress's Haryana debacle. The big focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshata Anandagopal, back after a short break to get you all the top stories over the next 60 minutes. Our focus particularly on what went wrong for the Congress. It's been 2 days since the results came in from the Haryana elections, and the Congress now is in introspection mode. We'll get to the inside track of what exactly transpired in a top leadership huddle and Rahul Gandhi's message to the Haryana Congress unit. And our top focus this evening is on the big political updates coming in from the Congress top brass huddle that was held earlier today. Big upset, of course, in the Haryana Assembly elections for the Congress, and they're trying to figure out exactly what went wrong, because they thought they had this one in the bag, only for the BJP to take away Haryana once again from the Congress. The top brass has been holding key huddles. Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge and several of the leadership, including those who were in charge for Haryana, came together today to identify what really was the problem. We will decode the names also for you of who should be held accountable for what went wrong for Congress. But Rahul Gandhi today in that meeting said very clearly he believes the problem of what played out in Haryana is that leaders' interests are being put above parties' interests. Is that really the case? What has the Congress found out actually went wrong on the ground in Haryana? We'll decode that and much more. Let's begin with this report of what we've picked up on that huddle that took place.
Days after the Haryana upset, the Congress now is in introspection mode. The party high command has been in huddle after huddle to figure out what led to the Haryana debacle and who is to blame. Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge chaired a meet today at his residence, and while Rahul Gandhi and all the top leaders were in attendance, what made headlines was who wasn't. Reportedly, Kumari Selja and Randeep Singh Surjewala weren't invited to the huddle. Bhupinder Singh Hooda too didn't turn up. Sources tell India Today that Rahul Gandhi, rather critical of the state Congress unit, said that the party's interests came second and leaders' interests took over the entire election.
As per the sources, party will be taking action against those leaders who they believe actually damage electoral prospects of the Congress in the state of Haryana.
But dissent within the Congress camp is growing. Congress's captain Ajay Yadav, who was also not invited for the introspection huddle, lashed out at the Congress Haryana chief.
बाबरिया जी तो अस्पताल में थे ना. अगर वो अस्पताल में थे तो हाथ जोड़ के कह दिया होता कि भैया मैं बीमार हूँ, किसी और को जगह दे देते. अपना स्थान जो है प्रभारी का, उनको किसी और को दे देना चाहिए था.
Candidates who've lost in the election are also angry. They blame the party for their loss.
पुरिंदर सिंह परी को चुनाव हराया गया है. पार्टी ने ही एक बागी उम्मीदवार खड़ा करके और पूरे षड्यंत्र के तौर पे चुनाव हराने की कोशिश भी करी और वो उनकी मंशा पूरी भी, उन्होंने चुनाव हराया गया है.
It's now clear that there was complete mismanagement of the election by the Congress, and the top brass is reportedly miffed with KC Venugopal too. He's the General Secretary organization. The BJP's Amit Malviya has now fired a sensational casting couch charge, claiming Venugopal gave seats to women netas who were close to him. The Congress's tough reality check in Haryana has sparked dialogue within the party over what went wrong. But will heads roll in the Congress leadership for failing to seal what seemed to be their election to win? With Mausami Singh and Rahul Gautam, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's open this up to discuss exactly what happened in that meeting. Joining us is Preeti Chaudhary. She's joining us live from our newsroom. We've got Maushami Singh, who tracks very closely the Congress camp for us, joining us live from Delhi, and Manjit Sehgal joining us from Chandigarh. Maushami, I'd like to begin with you on the big takeaways really from that meeting. We ended our report with a big question on whether heads will roll. Is that a likelihood? Who are they putting the onus on, the Congress top brass?
Akshita, truly it's very preliminary to say that the onus will be lying with whom, because this is just the start of the entire brainstorming and introspection and post-mortem of the Congress party. And we saw, the state leaders were kept away. Of course, the state in charge, Deepak Babaria, joined through Zoom conferencing. The secretaries joined, and we had the observers, the General Secretary organization along with Rahul Gandhi and Kharge deliberating in the morning. But apart from the EVM suspicion and speculation that the Congress is raising, there is a battery of allegations, a battery of failures that the top leadership will have to deal with. And the question will really arise that why did the top brass fail to see what was coming? Because in the face of it, this is a very, very warring unit. We've seen that daggers have been out ever since the results rolled out. Every candidate is making allegations at one camp or the other, whether it's the Shailja camp or the Hooda camp or the Randeep camp. So it's going to be a very, very hard-hitting and very, very embarrassing post-mortem for the Congress party.
As much as the onus is on the state unit, it will also be on the top brass for ignoring the blatant and open factionalism within the party. They believe that despite that, they have this win in the bag, which wasn't clearly the case. Let me also bring in Preeti Chaudhary on this. Preeti, we picked up from our sources that in the meeting, Rahul Gandhi reportedly said he believed the problem was that leaders put their own interests about that of the parties. Do you think that really was the case when you were on the campaign trail? Did you sense that also, that most of the Congress leaders were all about I, me, myself, and not really the party?
Well, Akshita, daggers were drawn all through the campaign of Haryana. It was very obvious to see that. You knew there was intense amount of factionalism. You knew there was a Kumari Shailja camp. You knew Kumari Shailja would come out openly, especially in the last two, weeks of the campaign, fall into the trap of the narrative that BJP was building, that the Congress was anti-Dalit, because she kept coming out repeatedly and expressing, how possibly she was being taken for granted. On the other hand, you did understand, and you do know that the Hoodas under which this entire campaign was run, they were not projected as the CM face where Bhupinder Hooda was concerned, but practically this election was run under the banner of the Hoodas, and right in the front was Bhupinder Singh Hooda. And when you talk about factionalism, on the face of it, of course, you've had the Hoodas who would always say that Kumari Shailja is a senior leader, and, we value her. And she's one of the strong leaders in Haryana. But at the back of it, if you look at it, 70 seats which the Hoodas were given in terms of ticket distribution. This was something that didn't go down well at all, where the other camps or the other senior leadership of the Congress was concerned. Many would say, and today some of them have come out openly. You have one of the candidates from the district of Ambala fighting on one of the seats, who openly says that there was factionalism and one side tried to undercut the other. On the other side, there were 12 rebels of the Congress party, which I think somewhere down the line, the Hoodas, the top leadership, state leadership of the Congress thought that, that they could continue to fight on their own and they'd be able to ramrod through what they thought was a tsunami of the Congress. Lots of speculations. Number 4, if you look at it, Akshita, there are 5 seats where the Aam Aadmi Party has polled more than the winning margin of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So who was it who scuttled the alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party when Rahul Gandhi had actually given a thumbs up to it before he left for America? Because all of that, as per the Aam Aadmi Party, then was ruined by the local leadership of the Congress. So yes, there are questions being raised today of KC Venugopal as well, the General Secretary organization. Why were certain tickets given to people close to KC Venugopal? the Bharatiya Janata Party, the IT cell chief of BJP, Amit Malviya, has even gone to the extent of alleging that there was a casting couch at play. Correct. But away from all of that, one thing, Akshata, is very clear, that there was factionalism. Did it lead to sabotage? And if it is clear it led to sabotage, will heads roll? Knowing the Congress, it won't, because there'll be a lot of, there'll be committees after committees. But we saw that happen in Rajasthan. Nothing really happened. The writing's been on the wall for the Congress, especially where state unit elections are concerned. But most of the time, they refuse to read it.
Very true. In this case, too, there's talk of a committee being formed. So it's essentially the same script that's playing out now as well. I also want to address the K.C. Venugopal question, but we'll get to that in a bit. I want to bring in Manjeet Sehgal before that. Manjeet, now, even as you've had this huddle taking place in Delhi, there are candidates now who've lost, who've contested on a Congress ticket, directly pinning the blame on the state unit, naming and shaming leaders, not shying away, not hesitating from blaming the party, saying Congress has ensured our defeat.
Akshita, as Preeti said, that factionalism is to be blamed most for the Congress's debacle in Haryana polls, while other parties, particularly the Bharatiya Janata Party, was targeting the other backward classes, and the Dalits. Congress was busy fighting the two communities, like the Dalits and the Selja. Now, Kumari Selja has come out to open criticizing the Huda faction, saying she was not kept in the loop. They were not on the speaking terms. Deepak Babria, who's the state affairs in charge, was not speaking to her. Both the leaders, be it Huda or Selja, were carrying out separate yatras in the state. And secondly, there were castious remarks against Kumari Selja. These remarks were made by none other than one of the supporters who belonged to the Huda faction. So Kumari Selja was off the track, did not campaign for at least 2 weeks. That gave enough time for the Bharatiya Janata Party to rake up the Dalit issue. The Mirchpur incident, in which houses of Dalits were torched and 2 Dalits were burnt alive. So this is another reason. And thirdly, Bharatiya Janata Party very carefully planned their campaign and tried to categorize the Dalits. You know, Kumari Selja's community is considered as the influential community, but Bharatiya Janata Party considered and fielded the candidates from the Ati Vanchit, even most deprived Dalit community leaders. So Bharatiya Janata Party is able to win 4 more seats as compared to 2019, and Congress was able to retain a few seats, but lost even the Jatland. So Congress not only was able to polarize the
Preeti and Rashmi tell me, essentially it's where strategizing happened as far as the BJP and Congress is concerned, that the Congress really lacked in. The BJP was on a weak footing, but worked on their strategy, worked on their campaign that gave them the edge, whereas the Congress pushed everything under the carpet, including all of the factionalism that all of you tell me about. And that's what perhaps led to this kind of a drubbing for them. Preeti, Manjeet, thank you. I will ask Maushami to stay on with me, because as we decode what really happened to the Congress and the Haryana game plan, because they thought that this was something that they're definitely going to win, so much so that early in the morning they were expressing 100% confidence that the BJP wouldn't even get 20 seats. And then look how it completely turned around. Let's take some names here of who really is to blame for the Congress's terrible performance in Haryana. The first one, man on your screens here, is Bhupinder Singh Hooda, who's been essentially the headline maker for the Congress, was given full power by the High Command. He played big brother in ticket distribution. And what we mean by that is, of the 90 seats, nearly 70 of them were all of his loyalists, his pick. And the Congress gave him a free hand to do that as well. So essentially, he bulldozed over all other leaders' opinions in the state unit. Put all eggs in the Jat basket. Essentially said that, look, the Jat belt is something that we will focus on. But what about the other belts? What about the other communities? There was no effort to really reach out to them. So there was no plan B in place whatsoever. Allowed personal rivalry to trump party interest. That's perhaps what Rahul Gandhi also was referring to. The fact that the entire issue was about whether I have a problem with this leader or that, not about who really can win on a party ticket. And you'll see this point coming up fairly often with several other leaders too. Then there was the issue of Congress rebels, and there were several of them during the ticket distribution. There was no effort made by the Hoodas to actually reach out to them, and that proved to be costly for the Congress as well. The campaign in Haryana was all about the Hoodas. Their face was on the ticket. Their face was, in fact, being projected as that of the Congress. Local issues weren't raised, issues that matter to the people. None of that was spoken about. It was all about Huda being the headline grabber for the Congress in Haryana. He also underestimated the impact of independents. Many of these independents were fielded by the BJP to essentially hit the Congress's vote bank, and it worked as a strategy because Huda, despite being a seasoned veteran politician, didn't see this really having an impact, didn't read through that particular strategy. And then, of course, failed to accommodate alliance partners. Preeti earlier explained to you how the Aam Aadmi Party could have played a big role in really helping Congress consolidate in some of those seats. But remember that the Congress Haryana unit was against the alliance, particularly Bhupinder Singh Huda. Let's get to the other names. There's K.C. Venugopal, General Secretary Organization for the Congress. He was someone who was also handling the Haryana campaign actively. Ignored all voices of the state unit on candidate selection, went with one opinion, that of Bhupinder Singh Huda, and that's proved to be costly because you've got so many big heavyweights in the Haryana unit of the Congress. None of their opinions were actually sought. They went single-mindedly with what Huda said, and that was because of K.C. Venugopal's advice perhaps to the High Command. He was accused of also backing his loyalists for tickets, something that the BJP has taken forward now, and even alleged casting couch, saying that whoever was friendly with K.C. Venugopal was getting tickets and they've all lost. Now, remember that he was someone who's advised the Gandhis actively in many elections, including this one in Haryana. And he reportedly advised the Gandhis against the alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, against the alliance with the Samajwadi Party. There has been a lot of talk that that too has proved costly for the Congress. Not a game changer, but definitely would have helped them consolidate in some of the seats. And essentially, like we mentioned in the first point, he made Huda all-powerful in calling the shots in Haryana. Was there factionalism? Yes. Was there a rift? Yes. Were candidates unhappy? Were there rebels? 100%. All of that pushed aside, K.C. Venugopal made it clear to the High Command that he will give all power to Bhupinder Singh Huda despite the evident cracks. Let's talk about the third leader who people will put the blame on again for what's happened in Haryana. And that is Kumari Shelja. She publicly vented her ire against the Hudas. Again, everyone knew about what was playing out in the Congress Haryana unit, about the fact that there was no love lost between Kumari Shelja and the Hudas. And that was evident in the campaign too. They didn't hold back. So a similar point as Huda, which is that she allowed personal rivalry to trump party interest. At no point did Kumari Shelja and Huda say, look, we'll sit down, we'll discuss our differences to ensure that the party wins. That didn't happen. Personal rivalry took over. And she hardly campaigned for the Congress. Remember that she is the biggest Dalit face for the Congress in Haryana. And she barely campaigned because she was miffed over the fact that she wasn't allowed to go ahead and field all of her loyalists. And therefore, she also played into BJP's anti-Dalit narrative. How? She constantly voiced her frustration publicly, didn't hold back from criticizing the Congress, didn't hold back over the fact that she wasn't given a ticket. And so by voicing her frustration, she handed it over on a platter to the BJP, which constantly kept saying that, look, Dalits are being insulted by the Congress. One more name in this list, that of Randeep Surjewala. He limited himself to campaigning only in his son's constituency, didn't focus on the whole Haryana picture. Essentially, the messaging was that, look, I want my son to win and nothing more. He also fueled the Haryana Congress factionalism, much like Kumari Shelja, much like Huda as well. He was very vocal about really the issues and differences that he has and the fact that he doesn't see eye to eye with several Haryana Congress leaders within his own party. And much like Huda, much like Kumari Shelja, allowed personal rivalry to trump party interest. And perhaps it's this point that's proven to be the most and the biggest weakness for the Congress, something that Rahul Gandhi is also referred to. Let me bring in Rahul Gautam on this broadcast. Rahul, one question everyone's asking right now, and you track the Congress for us. You've been also tracking what happened in that introspection beat. A lot of questions being asked on K.C. Venugopal, on whether his loyalists were given tickets, on whether he read the ground situation wrong, and whether he gave wrong advice to the High Command. Is there going to be any action against K.C. Venugopal, Rahul?
Akshita, I myself spoke with one of the leaders who was present in this important meeting that was held at Congress President residence. And I asked a specific question that, Congress party has been saying that action will be taken when Congress lost in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan. We all know that how infighting played a very important role as far as Congress debacles in these three primarily states are concerned, and whether this time some accountability will be fixed, as far as these leaders are concerned. So, but we've been informed from our sources that party this time is all set to take action. In fact, they are taking feedbacks from the senior observers like Ashok Gehlot, Ajay Makan, and the other secretaries that were attached, in that particular state. Apart from this, the AICC observers that were appointed in various Lok Sabha seats, they are taking feedback from these people. And then post Dussehra, this is what we're learning from our sources, post Dussehra, action will be taken against those leaders who said to have damaged the electoral prospects of the Grand Old Party. As far as KC Venugopal is concerned, you rightly pointed out that buck stops at his office. He is the General Secretary of the organization, and you can say that he is a very important part of the information mechanism as far as Rahul Gandhi and the top leadership is concerned. And
he's very close to Rahul Gandhi, which is why there's a big question mark on whether they'll actually crack the whip on KC Venugopal and his clear failures in reading the situation on ground and giving the right advice to the top brass and taking strategic, important decisions in Haryana. And that perhaps is what led to this drubbing that the Congress suffered in Haryana. Thanks very much, Rahul, for joining us with those details. We've given you a roundup of view of what's really happened post the Haryana election results. Let's talk now about Jammu and Kashmir. Here too, the Congress is facing a struggle. Yes, they may have won in an alliance with the National Conference, but it's a struggle to ensure their voice is heard and they have adequate representation in the cabinet. You have, in fact, the NC Vice President Omar Abdullah all set to become the king of Naya Kashmir. There's been speculation about it. All formalities essentially being ironed out, so there's no question of any sort of last-minute surprises, really. There was a key party meet that was held today in which NC MLAs officially chose Omar Abdullah as the CM face, the legislative party leader. Talks are going on also to get a letter of support from Ally Congress, because on that front, there's a bit of a hiccup. The Grand Old Party, the Congress, reportedly is demanding 2 ministerial berths and the Deputy Speaker post in the Valley. Omar has made it very clear to the Congress they're willing to give 1 cabinet berth to Congress and not stretch beyond that. The National Conference amid this is still waiting for that letter of support from Congress, after which Omar will stay claim and go ahead and form the government. So the swearing in for now is on pause.
के हवाले से जो फैसला हुआ वो आप जानते हो, नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस की लेजिस्लेटिव पार्टी की मीटिंग हुई, लेजिस्लेटिव पार्टी ने अपने लीडर का फैसला किया और मैं नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के लेजिस्लेटर्स का दिल की गहराइयों से शुक्रगुजार हूं कि उन्होंने मुझ पे एतमाद जताया, मुझ पे भरोसा किया और मुझे एक मौका दिया कि मैं राजभवन जाके गवर्नर साहब से हुकूमत बनाने का दावा करूं.
Okay, let's bring in Mir Farid on this broadcast for more details. Mir, good evening. A bit of a hiccup there for the NC Congress, but this was expected all along, that there would be a lot of negotiations and bargaining. But what really is the hold-up about now? We understand that the Congress is being rather stubborn, so is the NC. Is there going to be some middle ground that's met?
Well, initially the alliance showed that everything is smooth, but we know that whenever there is such a situation, differences do come. Now here, because of a UT, you only have 10 ministerial berths, including the Chief Minister. The Congress sources say that they want at least 2 cabinet berths, while the NC is giving only 1. Though tomorrow is a crucial meeting between the alliance partners. We know Congress Pradesh Chief is in Delhi. So is Bharat Solanki, who is the JK Affairs head. And they're getting instructions from the High Command on the government formation tomorrow. NC and Congress are scheduled to meet, and we've been told that these issues will be discussed. And also what the Congress is also demanding is Deputy Speaker's post. Now there is also an issue as far as the representation of Jammu is concerned, because we know this is primarily is going to be a Kashmir-based government, but they know that Jammu also has to be included. So there are some independents who have given their support to the alliance. Probably from them also there could be some ministers. So that really is what's happening. But tomorrow is the crucial day as far as this alliance is concerned, and being told that top leaders from NC Congress will meet, and these issues will be discussed, and then they'll try to come to a meeting point, and then probably next is going to the Lieutenant Governor and submitting the
So it will be interesting to see what really the cabinet composition looks like in Jammu and Kashmir. Thanks, Mir, for getting us all of those details.
I think today India is a different nation than it was. People have self-respect, they demand respect, they have an urge to create their livelihood.
We suffer from one weakness in this country, and that is the weakness of being too individualistic. For India to move ahead into the world and to be a greater force, I would like to see all of us being Indians first, shedding our vested interests and our differences.
Don't mind getting old until you get old. A world of genuine feelings for one another, good-natured companionship that we all take for granted.
So who takes on the baton from here?
There will be other leadership, and hopefully that leadership will in fact embody the same desire and the same drive. Even though I may not be there, we're having a new India which is about to emerge.
Today is all about celebrating the legacy that Ratan Tata leaves behind, a legacy of kindness and looking beyond the illustrious and iconic industrialist that Ratan Tata was. Let's begin this special broadcast with all the images that came in of the final adieu that India paid to Ratan Tata. The final rites were held with full state honours. Ratan Tata's mortal remains wrapped in the tricolour rather fittingly as the Maharashtra police accorded a gun salute to the Worli crematorium. The Tata Group's chairman emeritus passed away at a Mumbai hospital, aged 86 on Wednesday. Jimmy Naval Tata, Ratan Tata's brother, paid his last respects also in Mumbai. His half-brother Noel Tata also was seen paying homage. Noel Tata is a potential successor for the chairman position at Tata Trusts. Mantris, Netas, business honchos all came together to pay a final farewell. Union Ministers Amit Shah and Piyush Goyal, as well as Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, his deputy Devendra Fadnavis, all of them were present for the last rites. Business honchos Ambani, Kumar Mangalam Birla also paid their final respects with emotional messages. Scores of Tata Group employees poured into the Worli crematorium to bid farewell to the Tata Group chairman emeritus, a real testament to how Ratan Tata is a people's man. The employees raised "Long Live Ratan Tata" slogans. One of the most heartbreaking images of the day. On your screens is Goa, a stray dog adopted by Ratan Tata 11 years ago, who also paid homage to his best friend. The dog's caretaker said Ratan Tata was fondest of Goa, who adopted him when the industrialist came across him at a picnic, named him after the state in which he found him. Now, there's also a lot of talk about the Ratan Tata's legacy and also who will be his successor. He leaves behind not only a business empire, but also a crucial succession question. With no children to inherit his legacy, Tata's long-term leadership has been managed by N. Chandrasekaran. But as speculation rises over who will lead Tata Trust, who will be the chairman, all eyes are on Noel Tata and his other family members.
Ratan Tata, the tallest titan in the Indian industrial firmament. Not only was the 86-year-old a business icon, he also set new industry standard for ethical business practices and community development. At the helm of an empire worth 34 lakh crore rupees, Tata remained single and did not have any children. But reports say that there is no uncertainty in Tata Group's succession plan. For the last 7 years, a complete outside man, N. Chandrasekaran, has led the Tata Group as its chairperson. Under the 61-year-old former CEO and MD of TCS, under the leadership of 61-year-old former CEO and MD of TCS, the group entered new sunrise industries like semiconductors, technology, artificial intelligence and renewable energy. As the boss, he also revived the steel and vehicle businesses. But Ratan Tata was also the chairperson of the Tata Trusts. These trusts, particularly the Sir Dorabji Tata Trust and Sir Ratan Tata Trust, are the primary shareholders of Tata Sons, owning nearly 52% of the company. There is speculation now over who will head these Tata Trusts. Historically, the leadership of Tata Trust has been linked to the Tata family and the Parsi community. Ratan Tata's tenure marked the last time an individual held both the roles of chairperson of Tata Sons and Tata Trusts. The company's Articles of Association were amended in 2022, ensuring that these roles remain separate in the future. Noel Tata, Ratan Tata's half-brother and chairperson of Trent, is widely seen as a leading candidate. At 67, Noel's appointment would align with the preference within the Parsi community for a family member to head the trusts. His experience in the Tata Group, spanning more than 4 decades, adds to the potential candidacy. If selected, Noel would become the 11th chairperson of the Sir Dorabji Tata Trust and 6th chairperson of the Sir Ratan Tata Trust. Noel's 3 children are also expected to take more prominent leadership roles in the group. Maya Tata, an alumnus of Bayes Business School and the University of Warwick, has played key roles at Tata Opportunities Fund and Tata Digital. The 34-year-old was instrumental in the launch of Tata New App. The 32-year-old Neville Tata is the youngest of Noel's children and is married to Manasi Kirloskar, the vice chairperson of Toyota Kirloskar Motors. Neville leads Star Bazaar, a well-known hypermarket chain under Trent Limited. The eldest of the siblings is Leah Tata. The 39-year-old has been involved in the hospitality sector, having worked with the Taj Hotel Resorts and Palaces. She currently oversees operations at the Indian Hotel Company. Whoever wears the impossibly large shoes of Ratan Tata at Tata Trusts will have the intricate task of maintaining the balance between the philanthropic goals of the trusts and the commercial interests of the Tata Group. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
So yes, there's all of this talk about the succession battle, but Ratan Tata's legacy goes so much more beyond just business. His deep love for animals was a defining part of his life, and that was clear in the images that we saw of his dog, Goa, who's been with him for the last 11 years, also bidding final adieu to his best friend. From opening up the Taj hotels to stray dogs, to skipping prestigious events, to tend to his sick pets, his compassion knew no bounds. And as we remember him today, his unwavering kindness to every living being stands as a testament to his greatness.
Ratan Tata's demise feels like a personal loss to all of us. And he will be remembered not just for the business empire he built, but leaving behind a legacy of philanthropy. Key among other initiatives was Ratan Tata's love for animals. His best friends were his furry companions, and his love translated to animal shelters and hospitals. Ratan Tata even mandated that his popular Taj hotels would always have their doors open to stray dogs and to give them shelter. From his young days to the very end, Ratan Tata was accompanied by his most loyal friends, and he always kept them on priority. Back in 2018, he was to receive a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award from the British royal family, but he chose to skip the event because one of his dogs fell sick. That one incident speaks volumes of what his pet dogs meant to Ratan Tata. Tata's vision of a full-fledged animal hospital came to life when the small animal hospital was inaugurated last year, again showcasing his commitment to providing care for creatures who cannot speak for themselves. It was Ratan Tata's kindness to every living being that truly made him so loved and so missed today. Bureau Report, India Today.
Ratan Tata's quiet, reserved nature seemed at odds with the viral world of Instagram, but it was his unexpected friendship with 31-year-old Shantanu Naidu that changed everything. This unique bond not only introduced Tata to social media, but revealed also a personal side of the billionaire. It showcased the deep connection between two rather unlikely companions across generations. I'm leaving you with this report because as we celebrate Ratan Tata's legacy of kindness, another aspect and layer to him was his connect with the younger generation.
Ratan Tata, the chairman emeritus of Tata Sons, needs no introduction. But the reclusive billionaire's debut on Instagram had shattered the internet. Behind Tata's social media emergence lies a friendship, as unique as the man himself. His bond with the 29-year-old Shantanu Naidu, the youngest general manager of Tata Trusts and Ratan Tata's millennial friend. Shantanu Naidu is a fifth-generation Tata employee. First caught Tata's attention through his social initiatives, Moto Paws, which makes glow-in-the-dark collars for stray dogs. Tata, who had been a known dog lover, wrote to Naidu after seeing his work in a company newsletter, inviting him to Mumbai. This mutual love for animals blossomed into an extraordinary friendship. Their bond clearly grew stronger over time. Shantanu Naidu went to Cornell University for his MBA, where Tata had also studied.
All the affection that I have.
Upon Naidu's return, Tata offered him a role as his business assistant in 2018. Naidu also introduced Ratan Tata to Instagram in October 2019, showing him the ropes of hashtags and trends. Tata's posts on social media, including throwback pictures and family snapshots, quickly became a hit, with fans appreciating the glimpse into his personal life. Beyond business, there was a camaraderie between Tata and Naidu. They shared a bond rooted in respect, affection, and a deep understanding of one another. Following Tata's passing, Naidu expressed his profound grief, writing on social media, "The hole that this friendship has now left with me, I will spend the rest of my life trying to fill." Their bond, chronicled in Naidu's memoir, "I Came Upon a Lighthouse," endures as a testament to the power of friendship that transcends generations. Bureau Report, India Today.